There is something in me of savagery. I feel it, gripping in my chest, caught in my throat. A cold wind whispering on my shoulders, sending chills down my back like streaks on cheekbones of black sap and ash. I am overwhelmed by the night. What cause is this for this heaviness, like wool draped around my neck? This shawl of unsettled spirit, stumbling onto the eerie deadness of an ancient burial ground, of a residential neighborhood turned ghost town, with every obsolete street address traced into my chest, any scraps of leather, life, and memory burning up like sparks in a tribal bonfire. When exhaustion strips our civilized mind of decency, asks fight or flight or falling hard, instinct goes with choice number 3. Raw emotion boiling up and reaching vicious peaks. Though I suspect that all I need is a stretch of decent sleep. Tracing back the 24 hours of the trip taker, the nomad's footsteps, we are sewn together for a time. When the duet of the debate across from me joins the trio of tall tales in my own red leather booth seating. When God and thought of God were spun like sandcastles on the table in front of us, collapsing and slipping through the crack we made in the nearby window, this is when a part of me is satisfied. Maybe he isn't the only one in the business of opening and closing doors. Yet we slog through the maze of hours like driftwood deities that have been stacked dangerously high like condiment packages to kill time in diners. Like shipwrecks collecting on our mental sandbars, sitting at empty bars discussing theology, we do this to ourselves, don't we? And though our farewell arms grip tightly, our goodbye words failed us, landing too lightly. Such things are too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Drunk on the wine of squeezing every last drop from the early morning, on an empty stomach of sleep, straining to hear every last syllable from her keen lips, which are never enough. I almost feel the groping tendrils of her growing trust. Now I face this mid-afternoon highway robbery. How do I collect the scattered stones of our small talk, of conversation seeping lazily underneath the door of Sunday morning? I want to build a tree fort in the canopy of her soul, and make a nest amongst the brewing and the growing and the storage of years. But the staircase seems to be missing a few steps. Now I am discontent with these small stones in the pockets of my heart, paving stones. I long for them to do more than show me the way down. These questions weigh me down. I wasn't expecting this. I'm not sure I even have the strength to follow through with my plans to go to the lake today. Keeping the night watch and quiet conversations resemble running in shallow water, like sleepwalking, speaking in slow motion. The words trickle down my tongue and hang, quivering, before they are persuaded to drop onto her outstretched hands and be ferried to her ears. We make fools of ourselves like being smart is out of style. Our haphazard stories like poorly wrapped packages that open to reveal still beating hearts when unwrapped. Underneath the mask, we all resemble savages. I want to move closer to you. I want the very ground underneath us to be shifted. I want to rest my head on you while the sun rises. I wish I kissed her. Even though my senses were so dulled by her spontaneity that I hardly know how I made it home in one piece, thankfully, with all 5 of my fading senses fighting feelings riotously to keep your face in front of mine, at least in memory. I send my appreciation over the air between us in waves, in whispers too low to be located, too high to be heeded by trip-hammered bones and eardrum stethoscope translators. Like smoke signals in sound waves, I sent you a message through the goatskin drum beating in the left side of my chest, and I hope you understood it. So why, now that I'm returned to safety and familiarity 3 hours east of the Twilight Drive-In, why do I feel so far away from civilization? Why has this savage taken up residence in my hollow center? I am pink and raw on the inside, like pounded meat and asphalt friction. Savages holding ritual dances inside of me that do not need to be taught how to embrace one another. This comes naturally. To fight back against the isolation of the infinite is the inheritance of our instincts. So maybe one of these days I'll tell you what thoughts of love a savage truly thinks.